The other part about price strategy is the cheaper the price, the bigger headache the customer service department's going to have. Okay? We have tested this so many times. So if you're selling something for $5 and you need to sell like 10,000 of them every single month in order to just keep the bills paid, those 10,000 different customers are going to be a pain in the butt. You know why? It's very, very simple. Why this is true, I don't know, but this is the reality. The cheaper the price, the bigger headache the customer. The higher the price, the less headache the customer. The more compatible the customer. The more willing to do what you ask them to do customer or client. The cheaper the price, the bigger the headache. I'm telling you, we have tested this so many ways, and we have looked and we have talked to our customer service people and asked them like, hey, we have this thing and it's $200. Like, what was the feedback on it? Oh, we didn't even know you released a product because all those people just bought it and then they were cool with it. And then we had this other thing that was like a lead gen thing, and it was $5, and we brought in like 10,000 people, and our customer service just blows up because the cheaper the price, the bigger headache the customer, the higher the price, the less headache the customer. And I guess this is obvious, the less customers you need at a higher price means it's just going to generally not only be a better customer, it's just by sheer numbers, it's going to be less customer service required to support those people. Okay, so really think hard about your price strategy and think about the cost of doing business. And here's another thing: cheaper the price, the higher the refund rate. Higher the price, less the refund rate. Okay, that's a biggie. That's a real biggie. We've sold products, and I won't say through which merchants, and through which platforms, but we've seen return rates 10-15% on some products, because the customers were crap, okay? They were just, and we literally, my partner and I literally got on the old Google, all-knowing Google Maps and actually put in people's addresses, and we went and looked, and they lived in like trailer parks and manufactured housing. Nothing wrong with that. That's where you live, okay? That's not the kind of customer I'm looking for, okay? And I would advise you that it's easier to sell stuff to people with money, because even if you sell something that's $200, usually that person spent $200 with you, they ain't really worried about that $200. The guy that spent $5 with you is probably freaking out because that $5 could have bought him, a 6-pack of Budweiser. And you know what? He ain't drinking beer on Friday night if he gave you the $5. So keep that in mind. You don't want to be the cheapest guy. And if anything, the old rule of you get what you pay for is so ingrained in people, and generally it's kind of true. I mean, there's a reason that a BMW costs $75,000 and like a Chevy Malibu costs $25,000, right? There just has to be a reason, and that is like ingrained in people. And generally, the guy that buys the Beamer is going to be less pain in the butt than the guy that buys a Chevy Malibu. So keep that in mind. Again, this is just lessons from the trenches, and people ask me all the time, like, how should I price my product? Don't be the cheapest guy. And if you can, I'd go on the higher end, because it's going to be a better customer, easier to acquire leads, more margin. When things get tough, you can spend more money to acquire the customer, and just all around, you want to be on the higher side rather than the lower side.